Hi, my name is Jason, and I'm doing this video series on tobacco farming in Denmark. Denmark has a long history and tradition of tobacco growing, but it can also be a challenging place to grow tobacco because of the climate. And I would like to share with you some of my experience and some of the techniques I've used. This year I have about 200 plants, which seems to be about the right amount for me to be able to top and to take the suckers off of, to weed, to fertilize, to water by hand, and all the other things necessary for growing tobacco. Last year I had almost 1,000 plants, and I very quickly learned that that was very too much work for one person to handle. So this year I focused on quality and not quantity. I've cut way back, and you can see here my plants are looking very healthy. It's about time to start weeding the plants and cultivating between the rows. At this stage, when they're about 30 centimeters high or so, you can begin to cultivate between the rows. The plants like this a lot, and it keeps down the weed pressure. Tobacco, just like all other plants, require a lot of cultivation. Cultivation breaks up that hard crust that's on the top of the soil, which leads to water evaporation. A loose, porous soil retains water a lot more than a hard crust, which allows the water to just evaporate right off the surface. I've heard it said that the only thing better than a good watering for a plant is a good cultivation. Now I just thought I'd show you guys some before and after shots. Here you can see what it looks like before I've cultivated. You can kind of see a hard crust on the soil, even some cracks in the soil. This allows water to evaporate. And the weeds compete with the plants for nutrients. So a good cultivation prevents nutrient competition from the weeds and also helps your plants retain water. Now if we go over here, you can see the row that I just recently cultivated. See how loose and free the soil is in comparison? No cracks on the surface, less competition from weeds. This is exactly what you're going for. Now you got to be careful when you're cultivating these baby plants. Don't hoe too deeply near the base of the plants or you'll damage their roots. Just scrape off that top layer so you get this nice loose friable soil, and you scrape off all the little baby weeds that are trying to suck all the nutrients away from your plants. After you've finished cultivating your tobacco plants, it's a hot one here. It's very important that you fertilize right afterwards. And after fertilizing, you want to give them a good watering. That waters the fertilizer into the plant roots, and I can then expect the tobacco plants to simply explode into growth over the next 2 weeks with this warm, early summer weather we're having here, the 26th of June in Denmark. Now the fertilizer I use is just this kind of pelleted organic fertilizer. I don't like to use anything non-organic on my plants. We grow all organic tobacco here on the farm, and nothing unnatural whatsoever. No sprays are used on these plants. It gives a superior product that tastes far better than anything you could possibly get in the supermarket when you're purchasing your tobacco.
And then I just spread it kind of evenly out on the soil, like so. The next most important thing to do after you've cultivated and fertilized your plants is, of course, to give them a good watering. Let that soil you just freed up absorb all that water and water that fertilizer down into the roots of your plants. Well, that's it for today's video, growing tobacco in Denmark. The subject of today's video was how to cultivate young plants. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're interested, you can find links to my Facebook page in the description, as well as links on how to start your own Airbnb in the description. We also run an Airbnb here at the farm, so that's a kind of a way of monetization and a way you can support the channel. Please subscribe and share and like this video if it was something you could use, and if you would like to see more videos of how to cultivate tobacco in Denmark. Thank you.